This build is one of the best team support builds in the Division 2, whether you're doing team-based heroic, legendary, or even master difficulty missions. This build will have you disorienting everything every couple of seconds while pumping out tons of multi-target damage. Mako's Buck here, and today let's go over the Negotiator's blue screen build. Now normally I'd jump right into the build, but lately I feel like I have to say it from the start. A screenshot of the entire build will be shown towards the end of the video. The video will be timestamped, and I will write the whole build out and put it in the description of the video below, as well as show off each piece individually. With that said, let's start with our exotic weapon, and that is going to be the Bluescreen Exotic LMG. Bluescreen comes with the talent Disruptor rounds. Shooting an enemy marks that enemy and adds a stack to the agent up to 50 stacks. Shooting a marked enemy refreshes the stack and adds stacks to the agent. When you deploy a non-shield skill, remove all stacks on agent and all marked targets trigger an effect, which effect depends on how many blue screen stacks you have. When you have 1 to 10 stacks, you will pulse marked targets for 5 seconds. 11 to 25 stacks, you will pulse and disrupt marked targets for 5 seconds. 26 to 49 stacks, you will pulse, disrupt, and disorient marked targets for 5 seconds. And at 50 stacks, you will pulse, disrupt, and disorient marked targets and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked target. If you get a kill at 50 stacks, you will trigger all of these effects when a marked enemy is killed. Blue screen already comes with LMG damage and damage to target out of cover on it, so you will want your bottom attribute to be crit chance. We will be pairing this with 4 pieces of the Negotiator's Dilemma gear set. Negotiators grants us 15% critical hit chance, 20% critical hit damage, and the gear set talent Hostile Negotiations. Critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds, up to 3 total marks. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, gain plus 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times. This pairs perfectly with the playstyle of blue screen, as you're kind of just spraying as many enemies as you can to get as many marks as you can. Our Negotiator's gear will be going in the mask, holster, knees, and backpack slot, and the backpack will be giving us the gear set talent Critical Measures. Increases hostile negotiations damage to additional marked enemies from 60% to 112%. Our Negotiator's gear will be all red rolled with weapon damage as our core and crit damage as our other attribute. Our other 2 gear pieces will be going in the chest and gloves slot, and our chest is going to be a Ceska chest for an extra plus 8% to overall crit chance. Our chest piece talent is going to be Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds and stacks up to 20 times. Our gloves are going to be the exotic Exodus gloves. Exodus gloves come with the talent Smoke Screen. On armor break, drop a smoke bomb at your feet, concealing you from enemies for 3 seconds. This will also remove you from combat so that you will also heal. If you want the heal to be more consistent, you can swap weapons and it will force trigger the heal if it doesn't go off right away. Now, if you're not doing higher tier content like legendary or master missions, you can get away with not using these and just use Contractor's gloves instead, but if you have Exodus gloves, I'd slot them in. Both our chest and gloves will also be all red rolled with weapon damage as the core and crit damage and crit chance as the attributes. As for your secondary weapon, you can honestly use anything you'd like. I'm using a Police M4 with Measured, and my pistol is a card with Sledgehammer, but it is purely user preference. Moving on to our skills and specialization, which actually play a strong role with this build despite it being a weapon damage dealing build. Since blue screen's talent Disruptor rounds activate when you deploy a non-shield skill, it's important to pick ones with a shorter cooldown. That's why I went with the Scanner Pulse, as it does have a 17-second cooldown, so you can disrupt enemies pretty often. As for our second skill, I went with the Decoy, as it does have a shorter cooldown as well, and it is great at pulling aggro. Our specialization for this build is going to be Survivalist. Survivalist comes with some great passives to really help this build shine. Crunch Time while in cover, gain 10% skill haste. Survivalist Tactical Link, group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. You'll also get 10% protection from elites and some ammo regen when killing enemies affected by status effects. Just be sure to spec into the Onslaught node for an extra 15% damage to LMGs. I always like to wrap up my videos with a recap of the full build so that you can see it all together and screenshot it if you'd like. We are going with the Exotic LMG Bluescreen, 4 pieces of the Negotiator's Dilemma gear set all red rolled, a Ceska chest piece with Obliterate, and Exodus gloves. As always, I will toss a written out format of the build in the description of the video below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. See you next time.